Okay, I just got back from the theater seeing Sonic 3, and it was amazing. By the way, this is going to be more of a podcast type review with not many visual aids, so you can listen to this without needing to watch the screen. I mean, I will put something on screen just so there's something going on, but yeah, this is mostly going to be more of an audio-only type of experience. It's going to be a spoiler, unscripted, first impressions type video, so if you are intending to see this movie, like tomorrow or today, then I would recommend not watching this video until you see it. Now I'm going to give you a second warning when I reveal the really big stuff, but for now, yeah, this is your first warning. So anyways, yeah, Sonic 3, it is an amazing movie. It's even better than the second one, which to be fair, it wasn't that, if you were going to be adapting Sonic Adventure 2, it was not going to be that hard to top the second movie. But yeah, this movie is incredible. We got Shadow, and we got Gerald, Robotnik, all general stuff everyone knows, but yeah, we got Gerald. We get new suits for both Gerald and Eggman. We get them more modern suits that resemble the game appearances, and yeah, that is so cool. Not only that, but since this is a loose adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2, we get stuff like the Eclipse Cannon and the whole threatening to destroy the world plot. Now, there is no Bio-Lizard in this movie, which I wasn't really expecting. That would have been too complex to fit in 1 hour and a half long movie. So yeah, there is no Bio-Lizard or stuff like that. We only get Shadow. They do change some details about the movie, like for example, Shadow wasn't made on Earth by Gerald. He came down from the sky from an asteroid. So yeah, unlike in Sonic Adventure 2, where he was made by Gerald, it's like a present to, no, not a present, it's like a experiment of Gun. He just came from space, and Gun instead just took him in and locked him up. And then we do get the whole Shadow backstory with Maria and everything. Now, unfortunately, they do change the way Maria dies. Maria doesn't die by getting shot. She instead dies by an explosion, which isn't terrible. It's not a terrible change. I wasn't really expecting them getting shot, but it would have been cool if it did happen. But oh well, you can't show everything, I guess. So yeah, we get Maria instead dies from an explosion, which to be fair, it's still impactful. Don't get me wrong. I mean, sure, seeing a more graphic death like being shot would make you feel sympathize more with the characters. But honestly, as long as Maria is dead at all, which sounds really terrible out of context, but yeah, as long as she's dead at all and within the context of the story, it's fine. It's a good adaptation. Like, obviously, some things are going to be changed. For example, actually, yeah, not a lot. I like what they did. Like Tails isn't confined to his robot, isn't confined to the tornado anymore, like he was in the actual game, which I think is a change for the better. And Knuckles is much more involved in the plot, unlike in the actual game, where he's just sort of there. I mean, he doesn't do a lot. He's sort of divorced from the plot for a lot of the time. He's off doing his own thing. And also, here's the thing, the plot doesn't revolve around the Master Emerald anymore. Like, the Master Emerald doesn't get shot. No, it doesn't get broken by Knuckles in the beginning. There's also the fact that Rouge isn't in this movie at all. Which, yeah, that makes sense. Rouge isn't in this movie. So, yeah, those are some pretty big deviations from the main game. But I think, this is going to be a controversial statement, but I honestly do believe that, these changes were probably for the better. Like, this is probably the Sonic Adventure 2 remake people were not expecting or wanted, but this is probably the Sonic Adventure 2 remake we needed for people to take that story a bit more seriously. But the way that it's been presented in the game hasn't aged the best, because with the way we get stuff like the bad, not the bad animation, but like the weird motion capture animation we got in some scenes, not all of them, and the weird changes they made from the Japanese script to the American version. It wasn't the best, and I'm so glad that this is a better way to take that story. I mean, sure, we do miss characters like Rouge, but I think she might be in the next movie. Who knows? Yeah, we got okay. So yeah, as I said, this is unscripted, so this is gonna be very rambly. So next, we're gonna talk about Gerald. I love Gerald in this movie. He's basically just Eggman, but like older. Like, they literally say it in the movie, he's basically just Eggman, but older and fatter. That's it. Like, they are pretty much the same person. Now, Here's a very interesting change in the movie. See, as we all know, Gerald isn't dead in present day in the movie. Like in the games, Gerald is already dead. He was executed by a gun because he created the Eclipse Cannon and was planning to kill all of humanity. In the movie, he's not like that. I guess he was hiding out in like the gun headquarters or something, or like in one of the gun labs, and he's not alive. He works with Eggman in this movie. Now, at the end of the movie, he does end up activating the Eclipse Cannon and like plan to destroy the planet, like how it works in the movie, in the game. And what he does actually stab his own grandson in the back, and that leads to Eggman killing him in a very anticlimactic way. Like, he doesn't get killed in like a big old sacrifice. He just sort of gets killed inside the Eclipse Cannon via the chaos energy Shadow generated to fire it. And by the way, since Amy wasn't in this movie, we'll get to that in a second. We will get to that in a second. But since Amy isn't in this movie, Say gets the heart-to-heart talk from Sonic on the moon. Since well, she's not in this movie, so yeah. Sonic talks to Shadow about how he lost his best friend too. Which, the way they wrote it does make sense. Like, Longclaw would have, it's like a parental figure to Sonic, and so her potentially dying. We don't know if she's actually dead yet, but she probably is. Like, it's been so long that yeah, she probably is dead. But yeah, Sonic lost Longclaw, and so Shadow lost Maria in the explosion. So they sort of reunite on that. And before we get to that scene, here's one of the biggest parts of the movies. Okay, so this is where I'm talking about all the big stuff. So this is your last warning to get off the video if you really don't want to hear this stuff. Okay, so we get Super Sonic and Super Shadow. First of all, Tom not dead. He gets knocked unconscious during an attempt to infiltrate the gun headquarters, and so this causes Sonic to be in immense emotional distress and goes against Knuckles in getting the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds to go super again. And what he does is to go after Shadow, and then there's this huge scene where Shadow knocks the Chaos Emeralds out of Sonic, and then they both fight for the Emeralds, and then we get this huge scene where both of them transform. We both get Super Sonic and Super Shadow, and then they fight for a little bit before ending up in the movie and getting the heart-to-heart talk, as I just said. So yeah, that was one of the hypest moments. It's still not the hypest. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, that was amazing. And then we get to the big climax of the Eclipse Cannon, where Gerald is using is a really big manipulator in the sense. So he's still sort of devastated that Maria is dead. And he's sort of like a dark reflection of Eggman. Since I guess in this universe, Eggman doesn't have a family or whatever, and so he doesn't really have much of a human contact. And so Gerald was like a dark reflection of the darker path he could have chosen. Gerald instead chose to still stay mad at humanity, and yeah, that's how he ends up almost destroying the Earth. And so it is up to Sonic, Eggman, and Shadow, and Tails and Knuckles also to stop the plan and then save the world in the process. So yeah, this was a pretty big movie, and here's like the climax of the movie. We get so after Sonic and Shadow reconcile, they go back super. They go super again, I should say, and then they fly up towards not the space colony Ark, because I don't think they call it that in this movie. Yeah, I don't think they call it that in this movie at all. But yeah, we get them flying up there to the Eclipse Cannon, and then Eggman and Gerald sends a bunch of gun robots, which we haven't seen up in that movie up until that point, which is incredible. And then they fight off the horde of robots, and then Gerald tries to fire the Eclipse Cannon, and then Sonic and Shadow block it with their chaos energy from being super, and then break the cannon. But surprisingly enough, it's Sonic who's the one who ends up fading and using all his energy and almost falling towards the Earth. Tails and Knuckles try saving him. Tails goes down first, but then he passes out due to like lack of oxygen or something. And so Knuckles has to go down there and then use the portal ring to save them all. And then Shadow ends up teleporting back onto the Ark and trying to help Eggman from preventing the Ark from crashing into the Earth, since it's broken and it was hurtling down. So they have a last-ditch effort to prevent the Ark from crashing into the Earth. And so what they do is they initiate some sort of a black hole, which was set up later in the movie, as when Sonic and Tails and Knuckles initially get captured by the Eggman and Shadow. He sends out a little black hole bomb device, and that's what they use to destroy the Ark. And presumably, and you won't get this, Eggman dies pretty much. Like he's dead. He sends a heartfelt message to Agent Stone, and he dies in the black hole. And then that's where the movie ends. Like it ends with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all back home with Tom, who ends up being okay, by the way. And yeah, that's where the movie ends until the big post-credit scene. This was incredible. First, before the credits begin rolling, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles end up having a race. And at the first post-credit scene, we get Sonic ends up running all the way towards New York, and then suddenly Metal Sonic appears. Like Metal Sonic, not just one of them, but an entire horde of Metal Sonics. And then second, we get the biggest reveal of the whole movie. We get Amy. We're gonna get Amy in Sonic 4. The entire theater went wild. I wish I could have recorded that, but the entire theater went wild. The second post-credit scene, we get the reveal that Shadow is still alive. Like, we get the reveal that Shadow's still alive, so that could potentially mean Eggman is still alive too. Like there's so much setting up for Sonic 4. I did not think we were gonna get another Sonic movie after this. At least not for a long while. Which, to be fair, the rumors say that Sonic 4 isn't going to come out until like 2027, so we still got like 3 years. But like, yeah, there's so much more. Sonic 4 is going to be somehow even more hyped than 3. Oh my god, oh man, that is so cool. I cannot wait for Sonic 4. And maybe for like the lows or something, it'll be big enough that it has to be split into 2 parts. Like for like the meme or something, like Sonic 4 Part 1 and Sonic 4 Part 2. That would be incredible. But that's probably not gonna happen, but imagine that. But yeah, we're gonna get Amy, Metal Sonic, and probably some other new villains for Sonic 4. The entire theater went wild. First, we were already insane for Metal Sonic. Then we got Amy. Oh my gosh, man! I really wish I got that on camera. That would have been so cool. At least the audio, that was insane. I've never been in a situation like that. Is my first time experiencing something like that in a theater. That was incredible. Yeah, Sonic 4 is going to be hyped, and it is going to be even bigger than 3. And I don't know how you get bigger than 3, but they are going to do it. I know they will. And who knows, we might see the return of Eggman, because I seriously do not think they're going to kill him off permanently. That is not true. I think they may have only done that just in case Jim Carrey decides to retire. If he decides to retire, then that's why they killed him off. But if he continues, they're going to set him. They're gonna write some way for him to come back. I don't know how. It's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be like a bit jump the shark-ish, I guess. But like, I don't know. They're gonna find some way to bring him back. And if he does come back, that is gonna be cool. That's gonna be so amazing. Especially since Gerald is dead. I mean, that kind of sucks. Considering that, I wish we did get Gerald. I mean, Gerald was funny in this movie. He was amazing. I wish they didn't kill him off. But yeah. But Shadow isn't dead either, because of course they can't kill Shadow off. The game didn't do that, so why would the movies do that? I don't know why I was expecting them to kill off Shadow permanently when I went in there in the movie. I knew he was going to die, because that's how the game worked. The game made it seem like he was going to die, and then he came back later in Sonic Heroes. And then we had like an entire 3-game arc of whether or not that was the real Shadow or not. I hope they don't do that in the movie, because that could get a bit messy. But yeah, since Shadow is still alive due to the second post-credit scene, that is going to be incredible. Now, I didn't stay there for the entire credits. I knew I should have, because that's how. Okay, so my sister was there. She told me that she was the one who showed me that Shadow was still alive, because we didn't stay there for the whole credits. I knew we should have done that. I don't know why I left the theater. I should have stayed in there so I could see it live. That would have been even more hype. But oh well. I guess I didn't see it. So I don't know if there's a third post-credit scene as of recording this video, but if there is, that is going to be even more setting up for the 4th movie. Sonic 4 is going to be big. Oh my god, I'm so excited for Sonic 4. Oh man. I did not think I would be talking about Sonic 4 in this video, but yeah, we're getting Sonic 4. Oh man, that is going to be so big. I am so excited for it. And honestly, I think this is all I really have to say about Sonic 3. There wasn't like this is since this is since the movie just came out like today, and we obviously won't have access to the home video version for a while. This is all I can really say about the movie without really going to any deep analyzation. So yeah, Sonic 3 was amazing. Sonic 4 is going to be even more hype, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.